I'm making some meal preparations today that are not specifically for today. I'm actually going to make some roasted vegetables for dinner tonight and chicken breast, but I would like these jalapenos, pickled jalapenos, for a different meal this week. And I'm also going to marinate some tofu to make tofu cutlets. I found 4 trays of tofu, a manager special at my local grocery for $1. So I'm going to show you how to prepare these things in advance. I like my tofu cutlets to marinate for a day or two before I bake them. So basically, I'm going to make tofu Reubens with them. The next day, it's my turn to cook. My husband and I take turns. So right here, I have 3 large jalapenos sliced, half a yellow onion. I'm going to use the other half for what I'm making tonight. 1 carrot, 3 or 4 garlic cloves that I have halved or quartered. And then I am going to just put them in this jar with some peppercorns. And then I will be back to show you the next step. So here I have them in the jar with the peppercorns. And I used multicolored peppercorns, but you can use just regular peppercorns. So in this pan, in this very scratched up pan that I have, I added 2 cups of water, 1 cup of white vinegar, and 1/4 cup of sugar. And I stirred it up, and then I'm just going to bring this to where it's almost boiling, like bubbles just start to show, but it's not a rolling boil. While I have the water heating on the stove for the quick pickled jalapenos, and I have to clarify that these are quick pickled. So basically, when you pour the brine over them, you're going to put them in the refrigerator and they'll last for several days, but you don't want to put them on the shelf. So here's the organic extra firm tofu that I got for $1. And I have 4 of them, so it's going to take me a while, and I'll put you on pause while I am preparing this. But I will show you how I have it sliced. And then I'm going to put them in this bowl when they're sliced, and I'll cover them with water. So you'll want, I don't even have a measurement for the water. It's just how much ever tofu that you use, you're going to want it covered with water in the bowl. This is starting to heat up just enough, and I did forget to put salt in there, so I'm going to put maybe a heaping teaspoon of salt in here. I poured the brine over this, the hot brine, and I gave it a good shake, and I'll do that a couple of times. Actually, I will leave this sit out for a while so that the heat has enough time to cook these down just a little bit. You don't want them too cooked. Usually you just blanch it on the stove, but I like to do it this way instead. So after it sits out and cools down for a little bit, then I'll put it in the refrigerator. So I've taken the first block of tofu out of its container. You're going to want to drain it, and then you'll put it on a surface where you can cut, and you'll slice it. This is about the size you're going to want for each slice. So here it is sitting in the bowl. I have 3 more containers to slice up. So they're all in the bowl now, and what I'm going to do is cover them with water. So as you can see, there's a line on here. I'm going to cover it with that much water, and then I'll add some olive oil, maybe about just under 1/4 cup, and I will add coriander to taste, some soy sauce, some garlic powder, and some salt. And then I will let them soak in the refrigerator for a couple of days in that brine. And then I will end up baking them on a cookie sheet with some parchment paper. And I'll just bake them at 350 degrees until the edges are browned. So I keep my coriander in a kind of unconventional way. I have repurposed Starbucks bottles into spice jars for my bulk spices. I'd actually like to paint the lids so they, look cuter, but I haven't done that yet. So anyway, I get my coriander at in bulk at like Indian grocery stores. And so the way that I measure it is that I just put 2 capfuls of the coriander, from the Starbucks lid into here. So this is what it looks like with the oil and coriander, sea salt and or Himalayan salt and garlic. I'll mix it up a little bit, and then if you want to see me bake these, that will have to be for another day. But thank you for spending this time with me to meal prep.